Welcome people of the World Wide Web. So it is Cypher Sigma Toys, yes, and we have another video. So this is a bit of a weird one. Apologies there was no video Tuesday. And apologies for the noise in the background, people driving by my house. So this is a little bit of a pickup video, kind of what would be Tuesday, and something a bit more for the Friday, kind of collection wise, but a kind of a little discussion as well. So I've had this item come up. I saw it in the Black Friday sale. It was on Amazon. It was at $9.99 and I picked it up. Now the reason for this pick up is kind of why I want to have a kind of small discussion or a kind of at the camera and see what you think. So if you've followed my channel for a few years, and if you had any interest, talking discussions with me or seen of some of my videos where I talk about it, it's like I've been collecting for the best part of 10 years now. I started off with Transformers, and then I kind of went on to Marvel Legends and Power Rangers through like COVID and stuff. So I kind of have, this is what I'm focusing on. I get as much as I kind of can, and I get to a point wherever I get sick or something for reasons. Transformers, there was just too many out there. Too many different types. I got to a point of cost and stuff, and I was like, do you know what, I want to work on something else. I feel like Transformers is done. Then I went to Marvel Legends, and obviously the Marvel movies picked up around the same time, and it was just, this Wolverine, this Iron Man, this Captain America, zombie version, all these different versions and no new characters. And I felt it got to a point where it just felt starved over too many different versions of these characters, where so many new characters out there and different ones that they weren't doing. So that kind of made me kind of stop, and I think that made me a little bit sick on the Marvel Legends, because I think there was like an Iron Man in every wave more or less had a few years back. Maybe I'm over exaggerating it, who knows. So I stepped away, and obviously then I was doing Turtles. I built up an okay turtle, I say probably I've got like 100 or so figures from the turtle lines between the years. Not all are complete, but then obviously there's probably like 1,000 figures out there, and some of them are like £1,000 or something, so I'm never going to get them. So it kind of, and then backed off that, and now I kind of go for the smaller waves. And obviously I have the main focus of like the Mighty Ducks, which I'm still working on. Unfortunately that's gonna probably take me another year at least to get, because there's just some figures I haven't seen, but we're working on it. But anyway, so recently we've had some other figures turn up, and I'm kind of in a period of where it comes to birthdays and Christmases now. I'm very good at knowing what I want. I keep lists on my phone or pictures of what I want, and then I kind of send them as present ideas, so no one ever kind of overlaps or buys me the same sort of thing. And obviously my collecting habits have changed. Obviously I've got to the kind of more obscure stuff that you can't really buy brand new. When it comes to brand new figures, everything's quite expensive. And I was kind of wondering, where, as we went through this year, where I would go when I complete the ones I'm looking for. What am I going to do? When I complete them, or I complete them to the point I get sick of them, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And I always wondered, it's going to get to a point, collecting 10 years is quite a long time. Maybe there's something new that might come out. Maybe there's something different I want. There are certain stuff I do want, like I know Digimon stuff is hard to find, doesn't really come up. I want to probably get a few bits of those in the collection. Obviously cost is a factor, and obviously I did the Talking Toys all about cost of stuff, and it can get really expensive. So stuff has come up, and people have bought me presents, and then been like, oh, we've got a little bit of money left, what can we get you? And same for Christmas and stuff. And I'm like, I'm in an R-in, and this is where I've then reopened kind of this avenue. So first it was Transformers 1. It was around Transformers 1 time, or a little bit after that had come out, where I started to move the toy room around. So when this video comes out in the new year, you'll see me moving it, obviously making Beast Wars more of a focal point. I picked up the Beast Wars box set season 1 to watch, so I look forward to doing that. And I'm like, well, if I rearrange it all there and I have a bit more space, then it means around here I've got space for other ones, and I can redo my figures that I've got. And then I started to, with the Black Friday, started to see some sales. So I've started to pick up a few Transformers, and I can feel the urge of me, kind of the ignition for that, or the igniting that passion that I had in the Transformers is kicking back in. Obviously, once I do my swap around and that, I think I need to have an overhaul of what kind of figures I want and missing, because I try to have at least one figure representative of every character. Now, Dinobots, I have almost two. There's two high class ones that I have, which I'm never going to pay. You know, I'd probably have to pay 600 quid to get the free figures. I have Grimlock, I have Sweep. I'm happy with them. But that is kind of it. Sorry, I've shifted a little bit. So Transformers are there. This is not what is in this. So as I've gone back to Transformers, this is where I've started to get seeing what people have done. And this is kind of, there are a few figures from Marvel Legends I kind of wanted, I dwindled down, and then I started to look into them, and they've started to come really, really cheap offers here, there, and everywhere. Not only that, but I'm starting to see figures that I don't have that I want to include. I'm not very good at posing figures, and with me reshaping my collection as a whole, I have massive, like on top of one area is like Marvel, and then I have Marvel down section. Now I need to redo all of these and make it a bit more stylized and have the characters in different poses to kind of set them out. Plus I want to then work on my Thunderbolts one, because the Thunderbolts movie comes out next year, and I'm probably likely there'll be a Marvel wave to go with it I want to get. So what is this? As I'm talking about Marvel, so this is Marvel's Darwin. So he's a character from the X-Men line, and he has a builder figure. So this is another kind of thing that has spurred me, or the thing that has spurred me on with Marvel Legends. So what I have is, when you buy these figures, quite a lot of time they have a builder figure part, and I kind of put them in a pile unless I buy a whole wave, which I normally do. Sometimes I pick up the odd bits here and there, and there's some people on Facebook that have been selling groups of these. One guy in particular I always come to, and I've not, the deals never seem to work out. I sold a load of bits to him, and I must have, to be honest, I just wanted to get rid of them, so I sold them really, really cheap afterwards. I kind of was like, oh, I really shouldn't have done, but I've done what I've done. I made that decision, that's fine. He has loads of figures that he wants to get rid of and trade in, so I showed him everything I had to trade. I was like, well, I want this, you know, it wasn't being unreasonable. And he's like, well, I'll take that one bit, and then when, you know, I only want that one bit, I'll swap it for a figure. And he had the Darwin figure without the part, and it was for a £5, and he wanted my bit, which is another part from this figure. When I had a look at it, that figure is quite hard. That piece comes with Maggot, and seems to be quite hard to get hold of on its own. So I'm like, well, he's obviously given me the cheap figure that not many people want, and I'm giving him the kind of popular figure that a lot of people bought and kept the builder figure for. Didn't seem to want any of the other ones, so I'm like, well, what do I do with it? I'm still going to pile them up, but I thought, you know, my kind of mindset was like £5 a piece. He wants them, he collects loads of them figures. They would help. I saw he had some figures that were missing some of these bits that they could help him out, but he obviously isn't interested in that side of things. So this is where I started looking. I was like, oh, look, maybe I should start building these builder figures. Maybe I should look at, and quite a the bits I have are from figures that I have, and the rest of the figures I don't have in a way. But some of them I took an interest in. As I say, £10. These are normally 25 quid, I think, brand new, so a tenner. And if you have a look at the back, that sort of figures together. So I have Maggot, because that was the only one I bought. I have Cyrene on my Christmas list, and now I have Darwin. So I have 3. Wolverine doesn't come with any parts. So we have Havoc, which I already have, Vulcan, and Sabretooth. I have a Sabretooth, but I have another I have that Sabretooth coming, and that's a different story. So yeah, so this has kind of reignited my passion for it, and this is kind of the question for you. Do you come across that? I know some people only collect specific waves or specific toy lines, or specific, you know, it's only Transformers or it's only Marvel Legends. But have you ever come to the point where you have still collecting, but you've decided to put it to one side for one reason or another? I'm really interested to know what that reason is. And then, you know, and it must be like, I've collected the odd figure, but I would say at least be 2 years, if not more, since I've mainly collected Marvel Legends. And now I say I've probably picked up one each month for the past 6 months. And I say, go, and I've got a bundle coming, and there's another, and that will be another video to this. But yeah, what reignites your passion, or what has reignited your passion? Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and I shall see you in the next one.